I hardly slept the rest of that night, and when I did, my dreams were so clear I would have thought I was awake if it wasn't for the strange things I saw. Crashed aeroplanes, the sky filled with falling parachutes like a million jellyfish floating in clear water, falling bullet casings and balls of fire. There were moments of darkness too, the thickest, oiliest blackness filled with the stink of cooked meat. For a time I felt as if I was falling into a deep pit filled with the burned bodies of dead soldiers, their eyeless faces staring up at me from the dark. Their bony hands reached out for me, clothed in the tattered remains of their ruined uniforms. Then I was yanked away, to watch soldiers moving across green meadows in the height of summer. And I saw Kim's face in my muddled dreams too. I saw her turned up nose and her black hair cut like a boy's. And when first light pushed around the cracks in the blackout curtains, I woke up with a mixed feeling of excitement and dread when I remembered what we had done. I tugged back the curtains and reached under my bed to pull out the shoebox where I kept all the cigarette cards Dad had given me to collect. Then I climbed back into bed, sat up against my pillow and opened the box, moving the cards aside to take out the pistol. There were bits of mud clogged in it, and I was careful not to drop any of the dirt on my bed covers. I held it out and pointed it at the foot of the bed, just as I pointed it at the airmen last night. It still didn't seem real. Even with the gun right there in my hand, heavy and hard and metal, even then it didn't feel as if it had happened to me. More like someone had told me about it, or I'd imagined it. But it was real. Last night, Kim and I really had captured a German. We had sneaked out in the night, and we had taken him to my secret place. My throat went dry at the thought of how many rules we'd broken, and for a moment I was smothered by a feeling of such guilt that I had to stop myself from rushing to Mam's bedroom to tell her what had happened. A small voice in my head was telling me it was the right thing to do. The grown-ups could take over then. They'd deal with everything. They'd find the German and I'd have nothing more to worry about, except for getting into trouble, of course. And Kim would get into trouble, and she'd call me a sneak, and hate me. And maybe the German would be killed, and it would all be my fault. And there was the other thing too, what Kim had said about how we should look after the German, so that if something happened to my dad or her brother, then they would be looked after too. As if somehow our actions would affect the actions of someone else 1,000 miles away. I was so desperate for Dad to be safe, so desperate for him to come home, that maybe it was worth a try. Maybe it would be bad luck to tell the grown-ups about the German. Bad luck for Dad. I put the gun back in the box and hardened my nerve. I wouldn't do anything without talking to Kim. We were in this together. I wasn't going to tell on her.